interesting. Even though it's something I have to admit I sort of suspected, this pretty much solidifies the idea that Caitlyn Clark may just be the most dominant player in the WNBA already.
Caitlyn Clark's groundbreaking stats sent shockwaves across the WNBA, leaving legends like Diana Taurasi utterly stunned. This isn't just another rookie story, this is history in the making. Caitlyn Clark didn't just step into the league, she stormed in like a hurricane, demolishing every expectation, breaking records, and proving once and for all that she's not just the future of the WNBA, she's its present. Taurasi, Angel Reese, and Aja Wilson all doubted her.
I mean, it's crazy. Like 40 and 12, like people don't understand. Like that's not easy. Like scoring and then getting everybody involved. Like what she's doing is unbelievable.
Taurasi dismissed her skills, claiming Clark wouldn't translate to the pros. Reese and Wilson, meanwhile, have repeatedly tried to overshadow her achievements. But Caitlyn didn't just silence them, she buried their arguments under a mountain of stats that screamed dominance. Leading the league in assists as a rookie, ranking in the top 89% in blocks, and finishing in the top 97% in scoring, Clark has done what few players, rookie or veteran, could ever dream of achieving.
And I want to personally thank Caitlyn Clark for lifting up our sport. And it just is not going to stop here on the collegiate tour. But when she is the #1 pick in the WNBA draft, she's gonna lift that league up.
And let's not forget, this 6-foot-tall point guard has managed to make her mark in ways the league has never seen before. Critics said she'd need time to adjust, but her stats don't lie. 19.2 points, 8.4 assists, 5.7 rebounds, and even more jaw-dropping, 27 blocks in a single season.
Most points by a point guard in a season in WNBA history. Most double-doubles by a rookie guard in WNBA history. Most points by a rookie in WNBA history. Most assists by a rookie in the history of the WNBA. First WNBA rookie to record 2 triple-doubles. First triple-double by a rookie in WNBA history.
As if setting a WNBA record for assists wasn't enough, she's already redefining what it means to be a guard in this league. Today, we'll unpack how Caitlyn Clark turned skepticism into awe, how her jaw-dropping performance left even Taurasi scrambling for answers, and why Reese and Wilson's attempts to undermine her only highlight their own insecurities.
And even, throughout, her short WNBA career, it's been a lot of pressure, a lot of things thrown at her, and she keeps showing up and keeps getting better every single game. So
stick with us as we dive into the full story of how Clark's rookie season shocked the league, humbled her critics, and set a new standard for greatness.
I think Caitlyn Clark is doing the right thing, rising above all of the crap that she's had to endure. The amount of fouls committed on Caitlyn Clark higher than any other player, flagrant fouls committed on Caitlyn Clark higher than any other player. Caitlyn Clark was worried about playing the game, and that is why she got Rookie of the Year. She was not worried about the BS.
Caitlyn Clark didn't just make a statement in her rookie season, she dropped a statistical masterpiece that will be talked about for years. The numbers are not just impressive, they're historic. With an average of 19.2 points per game, she outscored nearly every veteran guard in the league. Her 8.4 assists per game didn't just lead the WNBA, they set a record for total assists in a single season. For context, no other rookie has come close to matching these numbers.
First triple-double in Fever history, the first player to be named WNBA Player of the Month and Rookie of the Month in the same month. First player in WNBA history with 20 or more points, 15 or more assists, and 5 or more rebounds in a game.
Diana Taurasi, known for her bold opinions, once claimed Clark's game wouldn't translate to the pros. Well, Taurasi, the stats beg to differ. Clark's performance isn't limited to offense. Her defense is just as jaw-dropping. Ranking in the top 89% of the league in blocks is unheard of for a 6-foot-tall point guard.
Man, shoot the blood out of the ball. You know what I mean? And then just how aggressive she is, and not just scoring the basketball, getting her teammates involved as well. I think she's so great for the game.
Blocks. That's supposed to be a stat for towering centers, not agile playmakers. Yet here's Caitlyn Clark rewriting the narrative and outshining even the best defensive specialists. With 27 blocks and 53 steals to her name, Clark has proven she's not just a scoring machine, but a well-rounded powerhouse.
Caitlyn Clark is box office. She is a star. Who, by the way, I'm going to go there, who happens to be white and brought a level of attention and allure to the sport it had not received before.
It's a reality check for critics like Taurasi and others who doubted her versatility. Perhaps the most stunning aspect of Clark's season is her consistency across all major statistical categories.
you know, what Caitlyn's been able to do in her short career so far has just been nothing short of remarkable. And, you know, the one thing that I really love about her, she loves the game. You can tell she's put the work in.
She ranked in the top 97% in scoring, the top 90% in rebounds, and a jaw-dropping 99% in assists. For a rookie, that kind of across-the-board dominance is virtually unheard of.
My advice to Caitlyn, kind of keep your mouth shut, because everybody is looking for you to say anything, and they're going to splice it and cut it and make it a negative thing.
Even WNBA veterans like Aja Wilson and Angel Reese, who often grab headlines, pale in comparison when you stack their rookie stats against Clark's. While they've spent much of their time critiquing Clark's rise, she's let her game do the talking, and it's speaking volumes.
There is nobody interesting in the WNBA past or present except for Caitlyn Clark. They've all shown themselves to be sexist, racist, petty, ridiculous.
This leads us to the elephant in the room, Diana Taurasi's reality check. Once considered one of the greatest guards in league history, Taurasi's skepticism of Clark now feels like a relic of the past. While Taurasi struggled to maintain her dominance this season, Caitlyn Clark soared, leaving Taurasi's criticisms looking more like bitterness than analysis.
I saw somebody break down the release time, which is pretty much identical to mine. You can't help but watch when she plays, where she's shooting from, the range, the confidence, the flair. Like, she's a performer.
When Taurasi claimed Clark would struggle in the WNBA, she couldn't have been more wrong. If anything, Clark's rookie campaign has highlighted just how outdated Taurasi's expectations of what a point guard can achieve have become. Clark's stats aren't just impressive, they're a direct challenge to anyone who doubted her ability to excel at the highest level. And in just one season, she's managed to shock the league, silence her haters, and put veterans like Taurasi in their place. Diana Taurasi, a name synonymous with WNBA greatness, found herself in an unexpected position this season on the wrong side of history. Known for her confidence and occasionally brash takes, Taurasi had dismissed Caitlyn Clark's potential to succeed at the professional level, claiming her college dominance wouldn't translate. But Clark's record-shattering rookie season didn't just prove Taurasi wrong, it left her stunned and scrambling for answers.
One thing Caitlyn Clark does maybe better than anybody in sports right now, makes it about others, makes it about team. Think about it. When's the last time you didn't see Caitlyn Clark talking about a teammate? When's the last time you saw Caitlyn Clark talking about herself or any of the accomplishments that she has had? Let me give you the answer to that. Never! Never! You never hear that. Now, that's why their team has gotten good. She could have been an egomaniac. Everybody in the league knows that she is the league.
For years, Taurasi has been the standard against which guards were measured, yet in one season, Caitlyn Clark has shattered many of those benchmarks. Her 19.2 points per game not only rival, but surpass some of Taurasi's rookie achievements. What's more, Clark's league-leading assist record sets a bar that Taurasi never reached in her debut. But the biggest blow to Taurasi's argument came from Clark's unexpected defensive prowess. Ranking in the top 89% of the league in blocked shots as a point guard isn't just rare, it's unprecedented. It's a stark reminder that Clark isn't just an offensive juggernaut, she's a well-rounded phenom redefining the guard position. Taurasi's critiques have aged poorly, especially in light of Clark's impact on the Indiana Fever. As a rookie, Clark didn't just shine individually, she elevated her entire team. The Fever, a franchise struggling in recent years, saw a rejuvenation thanks to Clark's leadership. Compare that to Taurasi's fading influence in the league, and the contrast is glaring. While Taurasi spent much of her season on the sidelines of relevance, Clark was breaking records, winning Rookie of the Year, and earning a spot on the All-WNBA first team, a feat Taurasi never achieved as a rookie.
Caitlyn Clark now has the rookie record, the history of the WNBA. She's now going to try to set the all-time record, but 12 games to go.
Caitlyn Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days what would have taken 5 years.
Adding to the embarrassment is Taurasi's dismissal of Clark's ability to compete against seasoned veterans. Clark faced off against legends and critics alike, silencing them with her performance. Taurasi once claimed that Clark's game wouldn't translate to the physicality of the WNBA. Instead, Clark thrived, proving her ability to dominate not just rookies, but also league veterans who have spent years mastering the game. Her versatility and adaptability make her a rare talent, a talent Taurasi underestimated. And let's not forget the fans, social media exploded with debates as Clark's dominance continued to rise. Even Taurasi's most loyal supporters had to acknowledge that Clark was doing things no rookie and few veterans had ever done before. As Taurasi watched from the sidelines, Clark rewrote the rules of the game, forcing a reality check not just for Taurasi, but for anyone who doubted her ability to excel. This season wasn't just a win for Clark, it was a masterclass in proving critics wrong.
What Caitlyn Clark does is kind of simple, really. She shows up at games, she signs autographs, she talks to little girls wearing jerseys, she smiles to the crowd, and then here's the most important thing. She competes like a maniac. I mean like a maniac.
While Diana Taurasi's critiques may have been rooted in skepticism, Angel Reese and A'ja Wilson's disdain for Caitlyn Clark is personal. The rivalry between Clark and these two players has been brewing for years, and this season, Clark's performance made it impossible for Reese and Wilson to ignore her dominance. Both players have been vocal about their disdain for the spotlight Clark has earned, but instead of stealing her thunder, they've only fueled her determination to rise even higher. Angel Reese, often touted as a dominant force in college basketball, has long attempted to downplay Clark's achievements. Reese's career has been built on physicality and aggression, but Clark's finesse and intelligence have exposed the limitations of Reese's game. Clark's ability to rank in the top 90% for rebounds, a stat Reese prides herself on, is a direct challenge to Reese's reputation. Despite standing 6 feet tall and playing as a point guard, Clark has proven she can compete and outshine taller and more physically imposing players like Reese.
One more thing on Caitlyn, which makes her super valuable, is she is leading the WNBA in points generated, which means points scored and or points assisted on. She is leading the league by a significant margin, and she is doing this as a rookie with a Fever team that is not comprised of a bunch of all-stars.
Meanwhile, A'ja Wilson, one of the league's most celebrated stars, has also taken subtle jabs at Clark. Wilson has dominated the WNBA for years, but Clark's rookie season put her on notice. While Wilson has relied on her veteran experience, Clark's ability to surpass her peers in nearly every statistical category is impossible to ignore. Clark didn't just perform well against rookies, she dominated across the league, finishing in the top 97% in scoring and breaking the WNBA record for total assists. Wilson, who prides herself on her consistency, had to watch as Clark's historic debut overshadowed much of what Wilson achieved this season. What makes this rivalry even more compelling is how Clark continues to rise above the noise. While Reese and Wilson have spent time critiquing her success, Clark has focused solely on improving her game. Her defensive dominance, ranking in the top 89% for blocks, a stat unheard of for a rookie guard, highlights how she's mastering every aspect of basketball. Clark's versatility and relentless work ethic have become the ultimate rebuttal to the negativity from her rivals.
I think right here today, considering all of the social media, all of the outlets for attention, Caitlyn Clark by far today is the most sought after popular star.
But it wasn't just stats that silenced Reese and Wilson, it was Clark's ability to thrive under pressure. In key matchups, Clark didn't just hold her own, she excelled, outplaying her critics on the court. Whether it was delivering clutch assists, draining three-pointers from impossible angles, or shutting down opponents on defense, Clark showed why she's not just a star, but a generational talent. Reese and Wilson, who have often relied on their reputations, were forced to confront a new reality. Caitlyn Clark is the future of the WNBA, and no amount of criticism can change that. The league has never seen a rookie dismantle rivals and critics with such precision. Clark's ability to maintain her composure, focus on her craft, and dominate in every statistical category is why she's already being compared to legends. Reese and Wilson may continue to push back against her rise, but the truth is undeniable. Caitlyn Clark is not just a player, she's a phenomenon rewriting the history of the game. This season, she didn't just silence her rivals, she left them watching from the sidelines as she carved her place among the greats.
The WNBA tried to capitalize on her popularity and crammed a lot of games in over a short amount of time, playing against the best teams in the WNBA.
Caitlyn Clark's rookie season isn't just a story of individual success, it's a seismic shift in the WNBA. From breaking records to shattering egos, Clark has done it all with a level of grace and determination that few can match. Her performance this season wasn't just about numbers, it was about rewriting the rules of what a guard can achieve. Diana Taurasi, Angel Reese, and Aja Wilson can continue their critiques and dismissals, but the reality is clear. Caitlyn Clark has elevated herself to a level where their words hold no weight. The stats speak for themselves, the fans recognize her brilliance, and the league can no longer deny her dominance. Diana Taurasi's doubts about Clark's ability to transition to the WNBA now seem laughable. A rookie season that saw Clark lead the league in assists, rank in the top 97% in scoring, and even dominate defensively with top 89% block statistics, has left Taurasi's critiques looking like desperate attempts to cling to a fading legacy. Clark has not only proven she belongs at this level, but has outshined many of the league's biggest names, including Taurasi herself. The supposed reality check Taurasi warned about turned out to be her own, as Clark's brilliance forced her to confront a new era in the WNBA.
There is a lot of appropriate attention on Caitlyn Clark and the Indiana Fever, and we found out that the Fever Storm game from over the weekend drew 2.2 million viewers, which is massive. The WNBA has 18 games this season where they've had more than 1 million viewers average, and 16 of those 18 have featured Caitlyn Clark. So you cannot deny the connectivity of Caitlyn Clark playing basketball and people wanting to watch. If she's playing, they will come, they will watch the game.
For Angel Reese and Aja Wilson, the shock was even more personal. They've spent years building their reputations as dominant forces, yet Clark's rookie season upended the status quo. Reese, who prides herself on her physical game, had to watch Clark match her rebounding percentages as a 6-foot guard. Wilson, with her accolades and veteran status, couldn't overshadow Clark's record-breaking achievements. Both players attempted to undermine Clark's rise, but in doing so, they only highlighted their own insecurities. Clark's response was never verbal, it was always on the court, where she let her game do the talking.
There is nobody interesting in the WNBA past or present except for Caitlyn Clark. They've all shown themselves to be sexist, racist, petty.
This season has cemented Caitlyn Clark as more than just a rising star. She's the new face of the league. Her ability to silence critics, redefine expectations, and perform under immense pressure has made her an icon in the making. She's proven that greatness isn't about talk, it's about action. Taurasi, Reese, and Wilson may continue their rivalries and critiques, but they're only background noise to Clark's symphony of success. As we look to the future, the question isn't whether Caitlyn Clark will dominate, it's how far she'll go. Can she lead the Indiana Fever to a championship? Will she continue breaking records year after year? One thing is certain, the league has never seen a talent quite like her. Clark has not only shocked the WNBA, she's redefined it. And while her rivals may stew in frustration, Clark will be doing what she does best, winning, leading, and changing the game forever. So as the dust settles on this historic season, one truth remains unshaken. Caitlyn Clark isn't just a player, she's a phenomenon. Taurasi can sit back and reflect. Reese and Wilson can regroup, but the future of the WNBA belongs to Clark. This is her league now, and there's no going back. Stay tuned, because if this rookie season was just the beginning, the next chapter promises to be even more legendary. If you're ready to dive into the latest and greatest moments in women's basketball, you're in the right place. Here on WNBA Original, we cover everything from breaking news to inspiring stories, bringing you closer to the action and the players who make it all happen. Don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications, so you'll always be the first to know what's happening on and off the court. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more from WNBA Original.